Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today I just wanted to tell you that you absolutely can recover from OCD. If you are right now in a position where you're having a setback and you kind of feel like you're at square one, that happens to everybody, but you gotta pick yourself up and you gotta continue or start the journey of OCD recovery. This is this OCD works like a mathematical equation. And I know because I've been helping people recover from OCD for over 10 years. So I see the same patterns over and over again. Different content, different themes, but the same exact pattern. And when I was going through OCD, and I've had severe OCD myself that I fully recovered from, it was the same exact patterns. How much you are taking the thought seriously, how much you're ruminating versus how much you're not taking the thought seriously and ruminating. The brain works like a mechanism when it comes to this. It's you want the fears about the red balloon because you find red balloons scary? All right, I'll give it to you on autopilot. Oh, you don't want the fears about red balloon? Well, prove it to me by disregarding a certain number of times. Even though you have anxiety, you're disregarding and saying this is irrelevant. And as your brain sees that you're disregarding, this is no longer relevant, it's the thoughts start to come in less and less. At first, actually, the brain goes on the attack and sends it a little more to get you back into rumination, into doing compulsion, but then it starts to get with the new program. This is a mechanism, this is how it works. And if you're point A, severe OCD, to point B and little by little reducing, why wouldn't you get to the very end? If you can do one step, if you can reduce rumination by just a little bit, reduce one compulsion by just a little bit, you will get there. There is no other option. It just might take you a little slower or you might go a little faster depending on again how much work you're putting in. And there is no shame of putting in a little less work and going a little slower. Everybody's situation is different, so you have to look at it that way. What can I do in terms of connected to my real life? Because some people do have the ability to do more recovery work because maybe they're not as overwhelmed in real life, and some people just can't. They need to function in real life as well, right? So it's at your speed going from point A to point B. And I'm telling you, I was where you are. I was in a situation where I couldn't leave the house. I was feeling OCD, anxiety 10 out of 10, 24 hours a day. Well, the waking hours and dreams as well sometimes, right? So I get it. And you can recover. Don't listen to people who are saying, oh, you can't recover. Well, you know what? I can tell you, when people tell you you can't recover, maybe those people that say that can't, but you can, I can. And it's just pushing through. There is a door at the end of the tunnel. It can open. Don't listen to people that say, oh, there's nothing there. Don't even go there. No, no, no. Just, pills and, accept that this is your situation for life. Don't listen to those people. That's their situation. This is not your situation. This is not my situation. And again, I'm telling you, I had severe OCD. You can do this day by day, little by little, tiny, tiny steps forward. If tiny steps forward is what you can do, then that's fine. Again, coming from a situation, if you reduce rumination, so let the thoughts come in and disregard by 1 minute each hour, in 60 days, you will reduce it to zero. Increasing, obviously, right? You reduce it to zero. If you do physical compulsions, if you, say, for example, you can't stop a physical compulsion. Okay. If you just reduce the perfection aspect of your physical compulsion, by just a little bit. So you're doing it to 90% extent versus to 100% extent. And walk yourself down that way. So 90% get comfortable, then, a week later, say do 80 and so on and so forth. You will recover. So it's just not listening to negative talk, putting in the work and continuing to put in the work. I find that really the hardest part of recovery, obviously, is pushing through doing ERP, but also staying on this track, not skipping days when you're doing recovery work, especially if you need to do more of with PUREO, the thoughts are coming in all the time. So you automatically are in ERP. It's just whether you're pushing through or not. But sometimes with physical compulsions, sometimes you can avoid things, which that's not good. So, but it's so tempting, right? To just, well, if I avoid, I won't have anxiety. So not skipping those days and pushing through and doing the hard exposures. But when you do exposures, another important point is don't do them over level 7 out of 10. Because if you do exposures that are higher than 7 out of 10 in terms of anxiety, you in theory, before jumping in, you'll be like, oh, I can handle it, it's fine, it's just going to be a little high anxiety. Then you'll be like, oh, I'm drowning. And so 7 out of 10 is the max. If the exposure in itself is, say, for example, turning on the news immediately gets you to a 10, right? Then turn on more kind of maybe filtered news or something like that, where it's like let somebody else watch it, meaning see what it is, then turn it on. So you're kind of a little bit secure, and then maybe for a shorter period of time. This is not a situation where you need to do things. I need to watch the entire news show or no, just 1 second, just turn it on, click off. Okay, what was your anxiety? Then, do you know what I'm saying? That it has to be in steps. And if you do this and stick to it, sticking to it as this is your most important priority, because your job, your family, your social life, your just well-being overall, all of and your physical health, because if you're not in real life, if you're always obsessing about OCD, I bet you're not taking care of yourself either. So all of that, everything depends on you getting better. So take that as your number one priority. I hope you find my videos helpful. I will see you tomorrow. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program, my information is on youhaveocd.com. You can sign up and book a session through there. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.